Welcome, my friends. Welcome to the show. This is the first episode of the Purple Overcast that we're starting here. Life is about more than music, but music is a lot of our life, so we figured we'd share it here. Figured we'd talk about it. Figured we'd have a little fun. What do you think, Mark?
I'm with you. Welcome one, welcome all.
Welcome them all, man. So yeah, let's just dive right into this. We're going to be chatting just about basically music, how music affected our lives, where we came from, and just let the conversation flow.
Yep.
But yeah, so let's dive into it. The beginnings of Mark as a musician. Where did it start?
Wow. I mean, every kid, I think, you grow up listening to music, mostly pop music, or whatever your parents were playing. I definitely a pop music and rap kid early.
See, I wasn't at all.
I was into pop and popular rap and that stuff. And I think Napster switched it all up for me. Finding Metallica on Napster at a friend's house, Metallica. And the thing that really blew my mind with metal, first of all, was seeing a video for Children of Bodom.
Really?
Dead Night Warrior on Napster. You know, it's probably like when you go from listening to like, I don't know, you know the rapper Mace.
I do not.
He's a very Mace and Puff Daddy, and then one day you stumble upon Children of Bodom.
Yeah, it's
like
very
like almost black metal. It's melodic, but it has black metal vocals. It's really like shocking to you. I think that was just like highly intriguing.
Mm-hmm.
That was just one of those things. It was like, how do you say? I don't know. You dipped your feet in. I had Metallica first, though, I think. Like Enter Sandman, everyone hears.
Classic.
Yeah. So Children of Bodom. So then, what's your first run-in with metal?
It was Metallica. It was Ride the Lightning. I was probably 11 or 12, probably 12. And I didn't really have any music tastes before that. Like, I literally remember in elementary school, like 5th grade or something, like, the teacher, like, asked us our favorite artists, and everyone was saying, like, Backstreet Boys.
I didn't have music taste.
I literally didn't.
Yeah,
I said my favorite artist was Weird Al. It's the only thing that, like, I listened to.
It's
like,
not bad, yeah.
I didn't, like, music just wasn't even a thing. I liked classical music as a kid, because my mom listened to classical music all the time.
Yeah.
I was just a sensitive little kid, so it touched me. But yeah, the first time I developed any real music tastes, I would say, was metal. And I remember going into my uncle's room when I was like 12 years old. My uncle like had video games. He was just young. He was just like the young cool uncle who we hung out with all the time. And he put on Metallica, me and my brother, around that age in middle school. And it like you said, it just blew my mind the first time hearing it. It was Ride the Lightning. I don't remember what song. But he put on Ride the Lightning. He had like a stereo system.
And a stereo?
Yeah.
Loud? Decently loud?
Yeah, I'm sure it was pretty loud. And we just thought it was the coolest fucking thing in the world.
Yeah.
So, again, and especially just like a weird little kid, didn't really have that many friends. Like middle school, like you're going to latch on so easily to something that like puts you in a subculture. Yeah. So metal is just like such an obvious thing for me to gravitate towards.
Yeah, metal's pretty amazing at that age because it's one of the first things you encounter that's not like completely molded and touched by like society and what's expected of you, or like things that are just put in place for you to follow along. It's one of the first things you encounter that's like a true like underground kind of subculture thing.
Exactly.
It's like slightly shocking but like so intriguing.
It's the first thing you can really like make your own too, you know what I mean? It's the first thing when you discover metal, like you think you're the only one who like knows this stuff and you're so cool because of it.
Yeah. That's a huge part of it.
Yeah, that's like most music and most subculture shit. But that's like
speaking. Yeah, James Hetfield said that once about his about the fans getting mad about them changing their sound. It's like they don't have that feeling anymore of it just being theirs.
Yep.
You know, so obviously, but yeah,
it was Metallica, and then after that, it was like all those classics: Iron Maiden and Black Sabbath and Megadeth and Slayer. Just all my uncle just showed me that stuff and. Again, same thing. It wasn't Napster. It was Kazaa, whatever, like downloading thing used. I remember like when we first got it when I was like 13, just me and my brother just going on a barrage, like downloading like all the metal, all the Metallica and stuff, and just hearing the albums and just having my mom, my uncle buy me CDs.
Yeah.
And It was great. It was such a new world to me.
Go to Strawberries.
What's up?
Go to Strawberries.
Oh yeah,
Get some CDs.
I remember buying Follow the Reaper at Strawberries.
Yeah.
I literally went to Grand Buffet with my uncle. Then we went to Strawberries.
It's classic.
But oh no, it was with my dad, not my uncle, that I got Follow the Reaper. Got Follow the Reaper, and then I remember like putting it on in my dad's car, just like thinking I was the coolest person in the world.
Yeah.
It's like, Dad, this is gonna blow your mind. This is so cool. It's like, isn't this cool, Dad? He's just like, no.
No. Yeah.
Stupid.
No. The Canton Grand Buffet. The
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
Yeah. The Strawberries are right next to it.
My good friend, his dad had a paint store right there next to it.
Oh, nice.
You know him.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a good combo right there.
I know. It was
Speaking of things that blew your mind, that Grand Buffet, I didn't know buffets were a thing, like, for a while.
great. Really?
And then, like, the same kid who I found Napster's house at, they were, like, telling me, he's like, it's infinite food. Like, there's, like, a million things.
That would have been
And then-
ridiculous to you. at
Yeah,
13.
to me. Then when I found out about it, it was all over. I just wanted to go, like, all the time.
The age of buffets and metal.
Yeah.
Did you go to Chengdu before that? Or did that not start?
No,
until, like,
I
middle
did. It was like this is like Chengdu times 5 though. When it's not, because the quality is like
Yeah.
4 times as bad.
school? I know.
Chengdu
just
is
think-
smaller.
You think because there's more food. It's
Yeah.
better. It's all such shit. Grand Buffet was great.
It was really fun
Good
though.
times there.
Yeah, at that age, it was so fun to go there.
I know.
And really, a stupid side note: the friend that brought me there, he thought your way of refilling your drink was when the waitresses walk by. You sip up the cup and make the noise, and they're supposed to know that you want a refill of the drink instead of asking.
Super annoying little
So
teenager.
rude. The rudest thing. He's like, no, you do that, they just fill it. You don't have to ask them.
I remember one time driving, like his mom was driving us home. I was in the front seat. He was in the back seat. He just kept taking a lighter and just like flicking it like by my ear. Just like while his mom was driving us home.
Who? Or
Yeah.
one of your friends?
No, it's the same kid you're talking about.
Oh. Who was he flicking a lighter to?
To me,
To
I was
you?
sitting in the front seat. He was behind me in the back seat. He just had a lighter like going up to my ears and like my
Oh
hair.
my god, so annoying.
It's most
So
annoying.
obnoxious.
It's classic 13-year-old behavior.
Yeah, that's such
I did
something.
I did some annoying shit when I was 13. This is the classic story. I get thrown out of the movie theater. So stupid.
Yeah.
Literally took a water ball in like the backseat of the movie theater and like threw it into the into
Yeah.
the crowd.
Yeah.
Hit someone in the head. They obviously like called
That's
security.
yeah. You're not supposed to. See, that's like even on that level of doing that, you're supposed to throw like candy, not a water bottle.
Again, it was so much. I just wanted to be cool.
Yeah.
There was so because like when I got into like the group of metal kids, I just came from just having no friends and just being like such a loser in that point in my life.
Yeah.
You know, in my mind, like in society's mind, just like so. I just wanted to be so cool when I started like hanging out with like the metal kids. I did like a lot of shit like that just to try to be cool.
Yeah.
I remember one time we were walking. This is with like the kids we were in a band with at that point. We were like walking to band practice or something, walking to someone's house after school. And this kid on a skateboard just went by us, and I just immediately yelled out, "Yeah, skateboards are for fags!"
Wow.
I just thought I was so cool.
That's pretty funny though.
I know. I was kind of funny, especially in like
That's
8th grade.
actually very funny. It's pretty ballsy.
But the thing is, I had no balls because I would never say anything like that, like anywhere close to like someone's face. You know what I mean? If he wasn't like already like down
Yeah.
down the road.
Wow.
If I didn't have like a bunch of other kids around me, never would have said anything like that.
What were you doing walking? It sounds like an early Thursday or something.
Yeah, probably.
Walking home.
I think we were walking to Taco Bell.
Yeah.
But-
You're very impressionable at that age. You want to impress.
Yes, you did.
And, yeah.
I really did.
Yeah, I did too.
I wanted to be so cool.
Yeah.
It's the first time I had anyone to like sit with at lunch. Before I started sitting with
It's a
you
big
guys,
deal.
literally sat at a table by myself.
It's tough. That's definitely rough.
But yeah, that was our metalhead introduction. Was in middle school.
Yeah.
It's when we met. It's when we formed our first band.
Yeah. Wrath.
Sure, there's got to be a recording like Realm of Warrior somewhere that exists online or something.
Yeah, I used to have them. On the old computer. Online, that would be very hard to find.
Probably not. They got to exist somewhere though.
That would be extremely difficult to find, but Yeah, Wrath. So obviously I played guitar. You played bass.
My first instrument.
Matt played drums.
And then Alex on guitar.
Yeah, another friend, Alex. And yeah, like having a band at that age is just like so exciting.
It's ridiculous.
Because you're like...
You look up to the bands you listen to so much at that age that it's like it's unfathomable.
The thing that makes it the most exciting is once you learn a little bit how to play, you can all get together. The first thing that makes it exciting usually is when you like cover something that's like your first natural inclination. Then something in your head realize like, oh, if we can do this, we could possibly write our own that sounds like this. And that's, you're going to write stuff majorly influenced by which is impossible to avoid even nowadays if you listen to stuff.
Everything you write's going to be strongly influenced by something.
Yeah. And like doing covers is so fun. Raining Blood, the first cover.
Raining Blood, For Whom the Bell Tolls, the big two.
Yeah, and we could play the full song. So
yeah, I know.
I mean, it's amazing.
I felt so cool playing the bass part at the beginning of For Whom the Bell Tolls. Every time I got to play it, I was like, "This is my shining moment. I'm the bassist. No one cares about me. They're gonna care about me now.
Yeah,
they're gonna see what I can do."
Perfect song for that.
I know.
I felt cool doing the lead on the, that part.
Oh yeah.
Always felt cool doing that.
Obviously, Raining Blood too. You got to do like the harmonize.
Yeah.
Alex.
Yeah. I was once I found out about harmonies, I was so obsessed.
Oh my god, they're ridiculous.
So cool. Like, wait, you play something different at the same time? But it's still cool now. Play something different at the same time, and it sounds amazing together.
It's still incredibly cool. It gets me every fucking time. Yeah. Every time I hear harmonized guitar in a song, it gets me, like without fail.
Yeah.
It's so like Iron Maiden is such a formulaic band sometimes. Like they do the same thing in every song where they'll like diverge into a solo, and then the solo will like tighten up into a harmonized guitar part. They do it so much, and it sounds good every fucking time. Yeah. Like it never gets old.
No, I know. It's big harmony band for me was In Flames. They literally harmonized everything.
Yeah.
That's like what my playing is like now. That melodic.
Yeah, they were a big influence for you guitar-wise.
Yeah, a lot of In Flames.
I didn't listen to that much In Flames. I had Clayman. Like I had that CD. That's literally the only CD I ever owned, listened to by them. It's a good CD.
Yeah, it's really good. They tune really low on that CD. Some of those like. Pinball Map is in like standard A, I think.
I think you're right.
If I'm not mistaken, which is like so low.
Gotta buy a pinball map.
There's they do it live and do you know the song very well?
I don't
But they stop and prolong a certain moment in the song and then come back in full, and it's amazing.
Yeah, it's a classic.
It's so good.
Sounds great.
Yeah, In Flames, Children of Bodom was huge. I really I was attracted to the melodic stuff. Also, I liked heavy stuff too. I really like Slipknot. Slipknot's like the reason I got a guitar.
Yeah.
Again, 10 listening to Slipknot, it's like mind blowing. Then you see the image and you're just like, you don't know what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely.
9 guys in masks and jumpsuits. But as you're a kid, you're looking.
They were big too. Like they were a very big band.
You're looking at them as like characters, and that's kind of what they wanted to portray, one angle of it. But you're like looking at this was before I had an instrument, all this stuff, Children of Bodom. So you're looking at the pictures of Slipknot, and you kind of pick out the guy and what instrument you want to play, and it was the guitar player with a black guitar, and I got a black guitar.
Interesting.
At Stoughton Music.
My uncle just bought me and my brother a guitar like after we started being really interested in metal. He just went out and bought us like a shitty guitar.
Was it the red guitar? Was another one before that?
It was. You never saw it. It was old as fuck. It was some Daddy's Junkie Music in Dedham.
Oh,
you ever go there?
No, I definitely I know the name of that business.
Yeah. That was like our first music place that we went to, and he got us a guitar, and it was the kind of thing where just both me and my brother started playing it, and for whatever reason, maybe my brother was like just better than me. I just made a decision at some point, like I'm not gonna play guitar. I'm gonna play bass instead. Again, probably just my brother was better than me at guitar when we started playing.
Yeah.
So then I was like, I asked my uncle to get me a bass, and he did. And that was my first instrument for my first like 10 years of playing music or more. All I played was bass.
Did you start with the finger, or did you ever do picking?
I never did picking. I don't even know if I never really learned how to use a pick on guitar. I probably just tried guitar for like a couple months, and then for whatever reason, like just went to bass, and it never even occurred to me to use a pick on a bass, honestly.
Yeah.
For whatever I think, I don't know who I was watching the most of. I mean, did Jason Newsted play with a...
He played with a pick.
Did he?
Yeah.
I don't know who I was watching.
Cliff, maybe?
Yeah, it might have been. Might have been Cliff. It might have just been like Geezer, Black Sabbath. I don't think I was like as into Black Sabbath at that age, but I definitely listened to him. Oh, it was probably Steve Harris, honestly, Iron Maiden bassist, because I was really into Maiden.
Does he play with a pick? I mean, fingers?
He played with fingers.
See, as a metalhead, I'm like so unfamiliar with Iron Maiden, which is like blasphemy to a lot of metalheads.
I mean, so they're like pretty much my favorite band, like
Yeah.
tied for my favorite band.
I mean, I went to the show. We saw them here 3 years ago.
Oh yeah, we did.
Really good. Obviously, I like them. I just never dove into their discography heavily.
No, that's the thing. It doesn't like if it's not 100% your vibe. I mean, again, even just like talking about so much of like the end of Black Gate to me is so much like an Iron Maiden thing. Like the way like we like switch off solos and then come into like it's a harmonized guitar thing with a melody, like a bass melody going underneath it. That's like very classic Iron Maiden.
Yeah.
So it's like even if you don't know them that well, obviously like all the bands that you listen to are influenced by Iron Maiden, so you're gonna be influenced by them either way.
Yeah. No, I mean, I knew like the Trooper, and I knew the Trooper, Signs, Number of the Beast. I knew like all their popular
Run
songs.
to the Hills.
Yeah, run. Yeah.
This song's not great. I saw my favorite live show I've ever seen is Iron Maiden Rock in Rio, like 2001 or 2002. It was right after Brave New World came out. And it's like such an amazing live set, and they're so into it. And then like as the final song, as the last encore, they play Run to the Hills just because like they kind of have to. And like they had so much heart in the whole show, and then when they're playing Run to the Hills, it's just so like you can tell they're just like going through the motions.
Really?
Like almost like a little bit. It's a vibe I got.
Yeah.
It's one of those very overplayed songs. It's good. I do like the song. Just going to metal nerd mode here. The song's overplayed.
Yeah.
They're obscure songs.
I mean, I know
it.
it. Yeah. Run to the
Actually, honestly, that is like a really good melody, actually. The fuck am I talking about? Run for your life. I fucking love Iron Maiden. Like I literally like almost tear up sometimes when I listen to them.
Yeah,
it's just again that the basic thing of harmonized. When you play like the same harmonized guitar riff over and over again, like the end of Black Gate, you play the same riff over again while the bass changes the melody. Yeah, that's just one of those music things that just sounds so good and powerful every time. Yeah, and just Iron Maiden does it so much, and they definitely like Maiden has definitely like a bit more of a nerd vibe, which is like maybe why I like them a lot. They're not as nerdy as like Blind Guardian or something. Yeah, but they like a lot of their lyrics are about like literature and stuff. Like, they don't sing, like, super fantasy stuff, but, like, some, like, medieval-y stuff. Yeah. It definitely appeals to, like, that side of me. I don't know. I mean... Bruce Dickinson, he's a huge influence to me as a frontman. Like, besides, like, him and Jim Morrison, like, my number 2 influences, like, as a lead singer, you know? Very, very good live, man.
Iron Maiden.
But, yeah, I mean, like, In Flames, again, that kind of harmonized guitar stuff.
Yeah, In Flames.
Very much influenced by them.
What albums... Clayman.
Horacle's the other big album.
Yeah, right? Horacle, Episode 666, all that type of stuff.
Yeah,
their early albums, that song is so good. Dead Eternity. Do you know that song? No. It's so good. It has like such a classic, again, melodic thing that the sound is just, it works every time. It's the power chord. With 2 and 3, then 3 to 5. Yep. Not gonna say the notes, but the other guitar is harmonizing the harmony with just the note, with just the third. 2 2 3 3, and like that riff I listened to. This is the thing I did as a kid all the time. I'm sure everyone does this, but like replay the same parts over and over again. Absolutely. That you really like rewind the part you like literally like 30 times. I did that a lot with stuff like In Flames.
I don't remember doing that as a kid. I definitely did. I have memories of doing that as like in my early 20s. When I first discovered marijuana and like first discovered like smoking weed and listening to music. I literally listened to No Quarter by Led Zeppelin 20 times in a row. It's like it's a 7-minute song. I'm not even exaggerating.
20 times in a row. So how long were you there for? You're good at math.
I mean, 140 minutes. So that's like two hours. 2 hours 20 minutes. It was like very shortly after I like really got into weed.
While you were doing some weed.
Yeah. I was having some weed.
Yeah.
Serve some weed.
Wow. Yeah. It's just like such a, whatever it does, obviously it's some dopamine response, and it just affects you on such, like, when you just find that part that just so juicy to you.
Absolutely.
I was always a walk around my block with the headphones and rewind the same part a million times. And I don't know when, obviously after I got the guitar, but when I started, like, when the fantasies start coming in about playing in front of people, or I'm on TV and people are watching me play.
I remember very clearly, this was when I was still playing guitar, I think, but I remember like being in my room. This is when I lived in Stoughton on Lincoln Street, shitty apartment. This wasn't that bad. I don't know why I had to shit on it. I remember being in my room and just like playing guitar and just like doing a power chord and then like doing this out to the audience in my room. Yeah.
See, mine was all completely internal. Like, I would never act it out.
I wouldn't do it in front of people, but in my room by myself.
Like, I never did something like that. It was just all these visual, just, oh, no, it starts happening, you know when it starts happening for me? It starts happening a lot in middle school when you start getting interested in girls. It's always like the girls are viewing you just like killing it on like a stage.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely had those thoughts in the last like few years too.
Yeah, no, they've continued till fucking yesterday. It's just so funny to me.
I mean, music has this allure of being cool.
I know.
That's the thing. It's like it's kind of
it's built up. It is and isn't in the way it's served to you as a kid. It's like these pop stars, these rock larger than life people.
Exactly, larger than life.
Music is so glamorous, lights and this and that, and smoke and thousands of people. And it's like it's not like that for everyone that does music. It's like very rare. Like again, Iron Maiden, Metallica, even In Flames. Like In Flames is massive.
Yeah.
Like, music doesn't end up being like that for everyone. Some people, they pursue it and they end up playing at most in front of maybe 30 people one day, which is fine. Exactly. But again, the point is it's portrayed as this gigantic, glamorous, you're the king of the world if you do music.
Exactly. Who are your like first big people influences in music? Like first like people, musicians you looked at?
Definitely, like, I was, like, obsessed with Metallica. Mm-hmm. Like, my fantasy used to be I was born in a certain time so I could join Metallica. But I would have been too fat to be in the band, so they wouldn't have had me anyways. But
that would have rounded out Metallica's look if they had a fat guy. It really would have. It would have been great.
Yeah, would have been nice.
If they had like a fat guitarist instead of like.
I don't think at that time it would have been cool for them though. Unfortunately. But, like, yeah, I was, like, when I got some Metallica DVDs and, like, again, you're seeing Metallica, like, in the 80s, like, you want that so bad. It looks like they're having just, like, such a good time. And they were. You want that so bad. So, Metallica, for sure. As I got older, always Metallica, you know, Lars Ulrich, I always liked watching interviews with him, James. As I got older... I don't know. Yeah. I always liked the clown from Slipknot, Sean Crane. He was really influential to me. Some Suicide Silence guys later on. I was really influenced by them for a while. Mm-hmm. Anyone else? I mean, mostly Metallica for me. James and Lars. They're pretty grounded, like for how successful they were.
Yeah.
And you can tell. You know what I mean?
I watched an interview with James recently, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Pretty balanced here.
It's like, and it helps a lot when, like, you really like a band, and then you watch the interview, and you're not, like, completely turned off by their personalities.
Yeah.
Which usually, it kind of works as you usually wouldn't be if you like the band. You know what I mean?
I mean, yeah, a person's personality does show through in their music to an extent. Definitely.
What about you?
I mean... like Metallica was one of my first two for sure. I definitely
Yeah.
like thought Cliff Burton was like a god.
Yeah.
Getting like immediately when I found out that there was a train to jump on, jumped on the Cliff is the best train. Jason sucks.
Yeah.
Who was the new bassist? Rob Trujillo.
Rob Trujillo.
Oh yeah, just I had to hate him. Dude, Saint Anger's so bad. Rob
Yep.
Trujillo's so terrible. They're all good bassists, but yeah, definitely bass. It was big him, big Steve Harris, and then just overall like Jim Morrison, like by far my number one. Like Doors just blew my mind
Yeah.
when I discovered them. That was like a year or so after discovering metal. Like 13 years old is when I discovered metal. Like 14 years old was when I discovered like classic rock. Like my parents had listened to classic rock growing up, so like I knew Led Zeppelin. Like I knew a lot of the songs just hearing them growing up. But when my friend introduced me to the Doors when I was like 14, it was like it was over. It's game over for me. Did some really powerful things to my mind.
Yeah.
Because it's the first, like, again, talking about, like, larger-than-life characters, like, Jim Morrison was just fucking ridiculous.
Oh,
Made no
100%.
sense.
Yeah.
Human being. Could go into all the conspiracy theories about why, but point being...
Very charismatic, especially if you're viewing him from like a 14-year-old mind.
I mean, exactly.
He just got into him.
He shows you just how different life can be. He shows you just a completely different way of living and thinking and being, like, whether it's true or just, like, fantasies that you create around your perception of him.
Yeah.
It was just a very powerful thing for a 14-year-old to like.
I wish my tastes and mind would never allow me to like the Doors back then. But I had my dad listen to the Doors a lot in his car, and I liked it, but I just couldn't. I was in such a Slipknot, Metallica phase.
Yeah.
My brain couldn't take it in or appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm grateful that I got that balance. Like that was always a big balancing factor in like my music, that I was never the 100% metalhead.
Yeah.
Like I always had the Doors have always been one of my favorite bands. Like Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, like they've always been bands that I really liked.
All those bands I still haven't ventured into. I will one day.
Yeah,
I know it's like blasphemy for a lot of people, and I understand, because that whole explosion of the 70s is like, that's never going to happen again.
No, I mean the energy around that time.
That was
like,
the first time. It's crazy how electric that time must have been.
Like starting in like the mid 60s to late 60s when like rock really became a thing.
Yeah.
Like all like the early bands like Stones, Beatles.
I mean,
Jefferson Airplane, Doors.
People still romanticize it to this day, as in
Absolutely.
trying to like literally live that lifestyle.
I mean, absolutely.
And it's
It was insane. It was just such an electric like time in history, like American history too. So just like these rock bands like coming out.
Yeah.
It was just fucking. It must have been ridiculous. Just the energy around it. And again, just like rock was such a new thing. It's like so old now. You know what I mean?
No, I know.
So it's hard to like recapture that energy that they had. But I'm very grateful I got influenced to like introduced to that kind of stuff and influenced from an early age. And like Jim Morrison is what set me off on having any interest in like philosophy and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It was the first time I'd ever been introduced to the idea that I could like think about life in like a more profound way.
Yeah. It's
And
big.
it was huge. It like always.
Wait, did you realize this at what age?
14 probably.
14.
13,
yeah.
14 is when I got introduced to the Doors.
Yeah. I didn't have any of those types of realizations.
I started like
That
reading
age.
philosophy stuff when I was like 14.
Yeah.
I didn't delve like too deep into it. It was like later that like Jim Morrison affected me like much more later. That was like the seed planted.
Yeah.
And like I've said this before, like my interest in the Doors is definitely something that like saved my soul almost, because I went through, especially like after Wrath, like after like the middle school like metal times, and I just going into high school, I just became just like the super nerd, just played video games all day. Like I listened to a shitload of metal. Like high school is definitely a time where I discovered a lot of music, because I would just play video games and listen to metal all day.
Yeah.
So it was still important, but like I wasn't really in any sort of creative flow. I wasn't really like, I was just very disconnected from my soul. I was just up in my head, just like doing school kind of and playing video games.
Yeah.
And so like the Doors was always that like seed, always that like little thing in the back burner of my mind that let me know that there was like something more to life than what there was.
Yeah.
And then it took many years for that seed to kind of grow into something that affected me more profoundly. But the fact that it was there, I still think was hugely important for that time when like my soul was just lost kind of.
Yeah. Oh,
It was big. I could obviously talk about the Doors for fucking so long.
Yeah.
Just a very big band in my life. And obviously most basic thing, like my singing style, I have like a few like big influences for singing, but Jim Morrison is obviously one of them.
Yeah.
Kind of the lower like baritone. He's like a bit higher range than me, but
Jim Morrison's so funny. Did you watch that movie at that age?
oh yeah, the
that was
Elvis
pretty
Show
popular.
movie. Yeah, definitely. My friend showed me that movie around the same time. That was definitely huge. I forgot about that.
What's the guy's name? The actor Val Kilmer. Batman.
It was a great movie. I love that movie.
Yeah.
And yeah, like I read Ray Manzarek's autobiography. He's the keyboardist for the Doors. Like around that time, it's like really delved into it.
I wish I knew more about the Doors. I could
I mean,
talk about the Doors, but I don't know that much about the Doors.
They're pretty cool.
Like I said, my dad really liked the Doors, and that was my first experience really with that.
They were darker than other bands at that time.
What song? Oh, the song he always had on the car was Mr. Mojo Rising.
Yeah, it's LA Woman.
Yeah.
Well, I just got into town about an hour ago.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, they're such a weird band because a lot of their music was like, if you look at it at face value, a lot of it is just this like really standard like blues rock kind of stuff. Like a lot of it isn't that special.
Sounds like elevator music sometimes.
I know. Yeah, the beginning.
I mean, I've honestly most of the Doors songs I know are from you now showing me.
Yeah.
And I really like them. Wait, what's the one?
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
We like started doing a cover of that song. My eyes have seen you.
Yeah, I really like that song.
There's a really cool guitar part where it just starts going.
And that's like also that's like heavy music too. It's going into like like that like classic thrash beat almost.
I know.
My eyes have seen you.
Yeah, they'll do a lot of like heavy snare beats like that. And just like that when Jim Morrison,
the guitars were distorted, it would be like almost metal basically.
I know. And when Jim Morrison like screams when he does it in songs, like it's a very intense scream.
Yeah, see that's the thing where metal obviously there's such like varying degrees, like literally there'd be like the average metal scale, we'll say like Iron Maiden maybe, you know, Black Sabbath. We're not saying the Doors is metal, but we're saying anything but like then like the Doors would be like down here, and then like metal, then like there's like death metal which stays here, like it just stays there. Then like like In Flames would go a little above Metallica. It's like, so the Doors is nice. It's just if you're able to like just stay low and then bring it high, the dynamics are so much better. Like metal gets lost into like it basically like in audio it like clips. It clips itself.
It's just up there the whole time.
It gets to, and it's not. It has no dynamics.
I know that's one of the most amazing thing about the Doors, and about like a lot of that music too. Like Led Zeppelin is good at that kind of shit too. But like when the music's over is like. It's an 11-minute song. Like so much of the song is just like a pretty like basic like rock like bluesy kind of groove, and then it does like a slower part, and then it fucking explodes into like all the instruments just go like full on like guitar solo. Jim Morrison screaming when it comes out of this like slow part. Yeah, and it's just like you could do a whole song like that, and it wouldn't have nearly the effect of how powerful it is when you have to wait like 7 minutes for that part.
Yeah,
it's just dynamics are like that's what music is about. Like again, you have a note. There's nothing. If you just hear a note in isolation, there's nothing special about it. No matter what, there's just nothing to it. Like the reason that a note sounds a certain way is because of the change from one note to the next note. Yeah. The reason like it sounds cool when you go like you ascend a scale, it's not because of how that end note sounds. It's because of how the notes leading up to it make it sound. So everything in music is about the relationship of a single note to everything around it, or like a single moment. Yeah. So it's just, again, dynamics are a huge thing in music. They're like one of the biggest things about how music is able to affect you. When you change from the verse to the chorus, that's why the chorus is so powerful. If the whole song was the chorus, it wouldn't be as powerful. Yeah. And that's why I love shit like that. That's why I really like music that has those kind of like strong dynamics. Yeah. Where you can go back and forth between like doing something a bit lighter and then create something like really powerful from that, and just that.
I know it's a little bit sad too, because those things, I mean, there's music fans still, but those things were way easier to get across back then because of the way albums were listened to, like length of songs, attention spans and stuff. Mm-hmm. So it's definitely not lost, but it's not as big of a thing.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, people and then the way music is developed, people are used to getting this perfect pop package, like candy of a song that's like so catchy, everything's perfect.
Yep, very
you know
processed.
what I mean? And I like that stuff too.
I love that shit.
Yeah,
and that's always a really interesting topic in metal or any like indie music, is just the idea of like raw music versus like clean polished music.
Yeah,
and there's, to me, is a middle ground. I would never want to be this like super raw, not well recorded. Like, we don't care about being like clean and polished, like just raw and real. It's like, no, clean, like well recorded music sounds good. Sounds better.
no, of course.
You're able to get your musical ideas across way better when it's produced well, like when you can hear the notes.
Yeah, that type of thing, like wanting the raw stuff obviously leads towards like metal and more like you're actually like involved in like playing the instruments and you appreciate like the raw sounds of the instruments. It's like pop kind of not as much.
I mean, yeah, you don't
just want to be as smoothed out as possible.
Exactly. And again, there's I like raw stuff too.
No, me too. I love shitty black metal recordings. I love that stuff.
Yeah, it's cool. It's not something I can ever really get into, but you can appreciate. I don't know. Like, this is an example. Like, Witchcraft is a band that I really like. They're like, I think their first album came out in like 2000. They're a Swedish band. They're definitely like going for like a retro like doom metal sound, like very like Sabbath Pentagram kind of sound. And their first album was like pretty shittily produced, and then after that, like, their albums were like professionally produced.
Yeah.
And it was the kind of thing, like, when I first started listening to them, I had a hard time listening to the first album because the production was so bad. But then, like, I went back and I actually was able to really enjoy it and like enjoy the different production.
Where are they from?
They're Swedish.
Oh, you said that's Swedish. Yeah. Witchcraft.
They're a band I really like. Their newest albums are not great. They're just like, they have the worst line. They're trying to be like deep and political in some of their lyrics.
No.
Literally, one of the lyrics is, "Cannot be saved from a bad economy." It's in like a doomy metal song.
That's pretty bad.
It sounds terrible. Ruins the song.
That's really bad.
And like their first album was just like cliche doom lyrics, which are stupid in their own way, but I can appreciate that more than like trying to like.
I know. No, that
you know
I would.
I mean?
Yeah, if a band I like started doing that, I kind of hear some stuff with bands. Sometimes you can tell they're trying, whether directly or indirectly, to be political.
Yeah.
It's slightly cringe, but whatever they want to do, I guess. But,
I mean, yeah. I'm not into it.
Yeah. It's just like music is the one place where you can like.
Yes.
That doesn't have to be involved.
Exactly.
You know.
You don't need to like alienate a group of people just to get your opinion out there. If you want to, that's fine. It's definitely not my thing.
It's crazy to think how many metal bands you'll never get around to listening to, and it's like I don't want to hear them all, but when I find a new one I like, it's like how many more of these are out there?
Oh, there's a shitload.
And it's like overwhelming. Like I just found the Italian black metal band that I really like, and and I'm gonna dive into all their CDs. I like when I'm intrigued to do that, when I don't feel like I'm forcing myself to.
Yeah.
When you actually want to. Like I'm saying with the classic rock bands, like I don't have the urge to go and listen to all these bands.
Yeah.
I don't have it. I'd like it, but there's a difference in like this band. I want to listen to the rest of their stuff because I was so intrigued by one album.
You got to do your thing. I mean, in terms of Purple Skies, we have enough like classic rock influence for me. You don't have to, you know what I mean?
No, I'm not saying I feel like I have to. It's just the difference of like when you're interested in doing it and when you're like, oh, I got to listen to this because this is the classic band.
I remember doing that with metal bands sometimes, like when I went through like my most like I'm a metalhead phase.
Yeah.
And I would listen to these like death metal bands and stuff that were just like classic bands.
Yeah.
I never had any interest in death metal. I just like listened to them just to like be cool.
Yeah.
So the next time like I saw like a metalhead kid, I could be like, oh dude, that Gorguts album is really cool.
Yeah, I know.
Dude, Possessed first album, classic death metal.
You don't want to come off as a poser. So.
Yeah, stuff like I never like death metal. Like I had like some like I like mellow death. I like melodic death metal. I love Amon Amarth. I like In Flames, but trying to like listen to like a Carcass album or even like for like a Cannibal Corpse album, I would never do that in my life.
Yeah, I really like them.
I would like never ever do that.
I like recently, I'm really into Cannibal Corpse. I think they're amazing.
Yeah.
Back then, I would have not liked it, but now for some reason, I love Cannibal Corpse.
If it speaks to you, it speaks to you.
They've like refined their sound in such a way. Like one of their recent albums, like 2 albums ago, it's almost like they're not trying to be catchy, but a lot of the songs ended up being catchy as like a death metal band. It's just interesting to listen to.
That's funny.
They've just refined themselves like so clearly in their own sound.
Yeah, I guess I just never had that level of like aggression and like, I don't know, brutality in me. It's
Yeah,
not something that ever like appealed that much to me.
I like that stuff.
Like if you're gonna go to like one extreme in the metal world, like dark satanic stuff was like cooler to me than like.
I like that stuff.
Gore.
I would probably be scared of that stuff like around middle school-y, even like early 20s. I would be turned off by it, but now I like the satanic stuff.
I mean, yeah, I can't. It's a lot of
like
energy.
like Mayhem. I really like Mayhem now. And
yeah, I don't know.
the black metal band.
I like Emperor's first album. I do like that.
I haven't dived fully into black, but like that new band I was just saying that I really like is black metal from Italy.
No, I can get into some black metal sometimes.
Yeah.
And like I really like a lot of folk metal and pagan metal and like that whole scene, and a lot of them are really heavily black metal influenced. Like Moon Sorrow, like their early stuff is like pretty black metal-y. Like Arcona is very black metal influenced.
That's the best name. Moon Sorrow. Such a good name.
I fucking love that band. They're an amazing band. I remember I tried to show you one of their songs. I distinctly remember it was in Massachusetts when we were driving to that like lake in Sharon. It's like a little pond in Sharon that
Yeah.
I go to a lot. And went there. It's put on Jotunheim. And I was just like getting so into it. We just got out of the car. You were like, "That song should have ended 10 minutes ago." So
really?
It's like your only comment on it.
Oh wow. I don't remember.
It's such a good song. It's an amazing song. It's like
It's the worst when you want to show someone something you really like that was okay.
It wasn't even that. You didn't give anything positive on it. They're just like, a song was too long.
Yeah, no, I could see myself back then. Now, I'd probably appreciate it now more somehow.
I mean, yeah, I really, really like. Again, bands like that get across a vibe where it's like, even like Moon Sorrow, they're not at all technical. Like they're very simple melodies for the most part. They just build on these simple melodies to make like epic. It's just like really epic sounding music. And I don't know, it's just very cool to me. That stuff always really spoke to me. Again, there's definitely like a bit of like a nerdy element to it, which always appeals to me. Like,
is it black metal?
No, they call themselves epic heathen metal.
Heathen?
Yeah, it's in like the folk metal scene. Like
Oh,
pagan
okay.
metal.
Heathen as in like a hedonist, like
No,
seeking heathen. Oh, hedon. I'm thinking of hedonist.
Yeah, hedonism. Yeah, hedonism means like pleasure seeking.
Yeah.
A heathen is like, I think that's like a Christian word for a non-Christian or something.
Oh,
I don't know if that's actually
a
true.
heathen.
Yeah, heathen is like a pagan. Someone who, like,
Okay,
goes
I've never
against-
heard that word.
Goes against the church.
Oh, I've never heard that word.
It's definitely like a medieval.
It's like a
medieval
there's
person.
heretic. A heretic.
Yeah,
Is
it's
along those lines.
Yeah, it's the same kind of thing. But yeah, I really, really like those bands. Again, I'm always very, very drawn to things that make me feel like I'm in a different world. Like that's why I like fantasy stuff. That's why I love Lord of the Rings. That's why I like playing like fantasy video games.
Yeah.
And that's why I like music. Like that's especially like all the Scandinavian, like Russian, like German folk metal bands that I really like. Like I love the fact that they sing in a different language because it makes me feel like I'm in a different land. It makes me feel like I'm like in a very different place.
Yeah, that is cool. Like, again, to mention it, you heard it. I had it on the stream the other night. The intro with the woman. I saw a comment. They said she was talking Latin. I don't know if it was Latin, but it's clearly an Italian woman. She has that. Yeah. And I'm obsessed with that intro with the acoustic, and she's talking in Italian over the thing.
Yeah,
I've listened to it so many times.
It sounded very cool.
I love it so much. But yeah, no, hearing stuff in other languages is very cool sometimes.
Yeah, I really, really enjoy it. Arcona is one of my favorite bands, the Russian folk metal bands. The singer, their latest albums haven't been great. Their singer Masha is a female singer, and she goes back and forth between like kind of like guttural, like not quite black metal, but like harsh vocals.
Yeah.
And in between these like very soaring, like operatic, like female vocals. It sounds fucking amazing. Like when she sings like that, she like might be my favorite singer ever. She's singing in Russian. She just has this like not super, like a little bit deep, but still very feminine.
Yeah.
Russian voice. It sounds so amazing.
Yeah, I could see that. I've probably listened to them.
Yeah, I've shown some of them to you before. But yeah, they're definitely the folk metal is a big thing for me. Doom metal is another big thing for me. That's like another part we haven't like delved into. But that was when Purple Sky started. Like I wanted it to be a doom metal band. Like that was the thing. Again, right around the time like I started smoking a lot of weed, I got really into Pentagram and Witchfinder General. You know, like those like they were the first bands in like the early '80s and stuff to like really be like Black Sabbath like emulating bands.
Pentagram's so funny.
I fucking love that band.
What's the other one? What is Candlemass? Is that a band?
Yeah, Candlemass.
Candlemass.
Crystal Ball. It's a great song.
Vinny, drummer, old band, sent me a video of that once.
Oh yeah, I do. I remember that video.
Candlemass video. It's so funny.
I don't like newer. I don't like super slow, like sludgy, like doom, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I like Pentagram is just like bands like that are just like the song structure.
They're
is
more
just like rock,
those bands are like they write like classic songs.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Classic. Wow, I hated that one band we saw when we went live.
Oh,
Weed Eater.
Yeah, that like stoner.
I hated that so much.
I didn't hate it as much as you, but I definitely didn't like it that much.
Wasn't good.
But yeah, that's the kind of like that's where like doom stuff has kind of gone to is bands like that.
They were just like capitalizing like 100% on like the bass was like as fuzzy as it could be.
Yep.
It was as slow and low as it could be, and I understand the appeal. I just like I'm not like a hater. Like if I took the time to go out, I want to like what I saw.
Yeah.
I saw nothing I liked, unfortunately.
Yeah,
but I never got into the doom metal world, but I again, some of the stuff you've brought, I like playing the riffs. I like that style of stuff.
I mean, yeah, I can't say I've gotten. It's like metal subgenres. It's such like a stupid thing, like arguing about words. It is just like the kind of stuff that I like is like Pentagram, Witchfinder General, Black Sabbath. Then bands like newer bands like Witchcraft, Blood Ceremony is another band. Like Uncle Acid, they're definitely kind of in that
good,
vein.
Yeah.
Uncle Acid's fucking awesome. They're one of my favorite bands right now. Like
have they come out with a CD recently?
They did like right around when we saw them,
but not since then.
I don't think so. Again, I don't like super keep up with like every band, every album that comes out. I don't think they have though. But they're amazing. I absolutely love that band. And it's the same thing. Like they're not even like really that much of a metal band. It's like same kind of thing for Pentagram. Like their song structure and stuff is very like verse, chorus, like catchy chorus, like bridge. Like it's very like rock structure songs.
Yeah.
They'll just have like, again, in the case of Uncle Acid, they just have like fuzzy guitar sound and kind of like weird sounding vocals. So it just like makes it like kind of dark.
They put effects on their vocals a lot, don't they?
Yeah. And he just has like a weird singing voice too.
Yeah, they were really good live. I really liked that show.
That was an awesome show.
I never downloaded. See, that's one of the most messed up things about music. I went to the show, I bought a shirt. Not bragging. That's not what I'm trying to say. The point is, I went to the show, saw this band I really liked, and I still didn't download any of their albums.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's just how, there's a lot of stimulus that we get in this life.
Yeah.
It's hard to like keep track of all of it. I had bought one of their albums at that show. It wasn't their newest, but Nightcrawler, Night Creeper, whatever it was. Very good album. Like Melody Lane is an amazing song. I've listened to that song literally probably hundreds of times. At least 100 times in the last couple of years, like since I discovered it. It's so catchy. It's dark and catchy. That's the thing. Like, obviously we're here playing metal. Like, we're gonna have some darkness in us that we're trying to like explore to an extent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, everyone has almost the same amount.
Yeah.
It's just how much of it you accept or are comfortable accepting, and what your perception of good and bad is, which is also a whole. You're brought up to believe certain things are good and bad, and it's if you get rid of that, it really changes things.
Oh yeah.
It's like bad stuff isn't bad all the time. It's there.
Yeah.
It's part of life.
It is. It's it's such a hard, because you can just go so easily in either extreme. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
you can start thinking that way and just be like, oh, everything that's bad is fine. It's just part of life, and you can use that to justify.
Oh yeah,
like,
for sure.
evil,
You don't
know
want to
what I
do
mean?
that. Yeah.
But it's then so easy to go on the opposite side of just not accepting the fact that negative energy exists and that there's like
Yeah.
darkness in the world.
Yeah.
So try to find a balance.
And that's why a lot of the average like person is going to be turned off by metal.
Mm-hmm.
Then if they hear something really obscure and dark like black metal, it's like offensive to their literally like their body and like it's
it
like
is.
literally like they.
And I get it. I
get it too.
If I had never listened to metal and then I heard like like if you showed black metal to like anyone, you know what I mean? It's like a time machine. Like show black metal to someone living in the 40s, like no chance anyone would understand it.
Yeah.
And understandably so.
Or at certain times you'd just be killed and you're a witch or you're demon possessed.
Yeah, definitely a witch. But yeah, man. I mean, there's so many different kinds of metal and music that have influenced me that have been going on, and I'm really happy to have it all. And
yeah,
like,
it's pretty amazing.
I think Purple Skies, we've done a really good job of making it a pretty good confluence of like all the different kinds of music.
I think so. Yeah, and that will be the goal moving forward, is to be as balanced as we can with your influences, so you create something that's interesting and dynamic.
And that's really
it's
important.
Not fun if it's just all what I like, all what you like. It's your ego kind of wants it to be that way, but
yeah, obviously,
yeah, it's not it's not going to be fun for either person. No. It might be fun for the person who's getting the bigger chunk of getting their rocks off, as they say.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you move along just trying to keep it 50-50, then there's no problems.
I mean,
we're a two-man band, so
yeah, it's pretty easy. Do it like that. But yeah, and it's just about like, I don't know, my music tastes are just too varied to ever want to do like a very specific thing. Like, I'm not the kind of person.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to walk into a band and be like, I want this to be a technical thrash metal band. You know what I mean?
That's so funny to say. I know. I've changed a lot in that regard, because clearly the band before this, I'm clearly like a pretty straightforward like metalcore. I've listened to a lot of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I when I first imagined being in a band, like that's what I pictured, like heavier, melodic.
Yeah,
that's about it. But this band's kind of opened my eyes a bit wider, perceptions a bit wider. I'm pretty open to like any style of song.
I mean,
that I
same.
want to do for the most part.
Yeah, I definitely try to be the same. There's definitely like when we started doing Purple Skies, there would be plenty, like 4 or 5 years ago, there would be plenty of riffs you'd show me that I'd just be like, it's a stupid heavy Slipknot riff. I don't want that shit in my band. You know what I mean? Like in my head.
Yeah.
I've definitely I've gotten over that shit. Like,
yeah, it would just be lame to hold on to that.
No, exactly.
And like, unless there's something you're just really not feeling, but even so, it's like, if they say like you really like it and I know that, like how big of a dick do I have to be like, no, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think we've done a good job.
Yeah.
And so if you listen to our album, Picture of Our Fate, you can see what we're talking about.
Hey, an album. We have one of those. That's what you're talking about.
I just listened to a guy who said, you got to show your shirts more if you want to sell them more. So,
hey, look at that. You're listening to some more influences you're getting.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, music's fun.
It's fun. It's just a thing you do if you end up doing somehow. It's,
yeah, man. Well, I'm feeling like we're starting to wrap up here. Unless you want to delve into anything else, we can keep going.
No, that was
keep
good.
Diving. I think we had a good talk there.
That was good. Well, guys, that's the podcast, number 1.
This is it. We're going to put it out there. We're going to see how you guys like it. It's just us chatting about music, and we're going to keep doing it.
Not just music, life, anything that encompasses life.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll do some more.
Thank you.